Here it is, May 28th, 2019, about 11:31 p.m., Columbus, Ohio, right off of Rich Street, McDowell Street, Town Street, Gift Street, Walnut Street. Anyways, all the good stuff. Hopefully no electronic jamming happens, and more than likely it's still going to be interference, but still being targeted, still having people calling out child molester, doing this and that, for the fact of part of it was lazy eye. A lot of it is organized crime, and organized, without it being mafia crime, organized gang stalking, including the police, law enforcement. They've never charged anything. In New York City, we talked and people walked out and just frontedly, just in the community, should we be allowing this to happen? We're seeing other people do this. The same motherfuckers here in Columbus, Ohio, and I ain't explained, I said out in New York City, I've traveled a lot. That's how organized stalking happened. All over the United States, not just New York here and wherever else I go. Oh, we're law enforcement, we're profiling you. Bullshit. Just like the people, witnesses, seeing all the shit going on, you ain't doing nothing but fucking entertaining yourself. Punking. Not only just entertaining and getting away with it, you're physically enforcing and being violent with your situation. They try to blame me for gangbanging, criminality, and all the other stuff, and everybody else seeing. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to admit to it or say yes, that's correct. But even still, even witnesses that don't even know me, it's not in my favor for them to per se step up just because of friendship or anything and lie. It's just straight witnesses, you, me, or whoever else is standing there, understanding, even profiling them themselves, say a couple of weeks straight, and I didn't do anything wrong. I ain't done nothing wrong. The criminality shit, they're the ones trying to pump the criminality, the enforcement of organized crime, while they're also utilizing law enforcement, which they're also utilizing the organized crime rat snitch type of situation, which is a federal fucking offense. And in my situation, you've done it before too, as a youngster, maybe messing around with whatever, group of people there, calling cops pigs and all the rest of the shit. But hey, you did it, we're going to do it to you. I did it once, they've carried it out the rest of my life, right? So on top of that, put it together. If I did it once, yes, it's incorrect. It's not right to do it all. But for you to do it day after day, everything they do is repetitive. You did it. You did it too. You did it in the past. You did it sometime. Once. You do it repetitively. That's life-threatening. Oh, what the fuck you gonna do about it? You already know we got you fucked up with the police. Your social life sabotaged to the point that you ain't got one. You're a nut. You're psycho. You're this. Whatever the fuck we want to do with you. Law enforcement included. Government included. And on top, hey, we wasted you. And in the evaluation, we're doing psychological ops type of situation. In an evaluation, you're not going to pass to be able to have a normal life. We have already had people on the inside, and on top, it doesn't matter. We've damaged you enough, psychologically injured you enough. The normal system would basically not just diagnose, but enforce that you're not just unstable, but not as normal, not quality of life, not in a good situation. They want to do mafioso. I've talked to New York City. There was mobsters that came out. There's gangsters that came out. There's people that are real fucking gangsters and all that on top, including the stalking that's going on. Also witnessing the effect that, hey man, you're right, it's fucked up. These dumb dick fuckers are in here stepping up on our turf and all the rest. It could be understood if you're doing a community situation legally that you're trying to... even giving it the word of a fucking community gangs in the fucking communities that I was in, okay, let's get down to it's supposed to be okay. The things that you're doing ain't okay. It ain't even legal. You're forcing it's legal because they're law enforcement, or trying to enforce and persuade everybody because it sounds legal that it is, and it wasn't. And manipulating other people to participate, or manipulating the situation, and that's all they're doing. They're doing nothing but fraudulating the system. That's organized crime and corruption, collecting paychecks, utilizing fundings from the system, because they're claiming that it is the system that has this, so the system, taxpayers' dollars, has to be spent on it. If that's the case, there's many people walked out and said none of this shit's fucking correct. It ain't even just about innocence. It's about how it's being dealt with. Corruption. You're utilizing, and they're utilizing me fraudulently as a fucking paycheck, if that's the case. On top of, step out of the realm, all they got to do is what? Not acknowledge that they're being policed, taking it personal life, and boom, right there. Oh, well, that's not on duty. That's my personal life. I can do whatever the fuck I want to. Here's the thing, though. You followed me out of state. It's not following me down a street. It's not in here harassing that this is my community. I do what I want. I had a gentleman that stepped out. His family lived where I camped out. I was semi-homeless. I was, or basically homeless. But I had money. I could have probably tried to rent an apartment, but I wasn't planning on maybe staying so long, or I don't know. It was just, I was homeless with no home, no place to understand. But the gentleman there, my family's lived here all our lives. There's people that followed you here. He had the cops step up. They was out there doing hey, he's a child molester, he's this, whatever the fuck we want to do. He's schizophrenic, we got a right to do this. He asked the police if that was right, what is right, no matter which way it would work, what is, and it came out, no, I ain't even criminally charged. There's nothing that it's illegal for what they're doing. And anybody could call in and witness it, and the cops come out and press charges on the people that's doing it. He put his family in the middle of a situation where they're stepping in the community, trying to control the community. They have people like anchors living in New York City. My family lives there too. So this is no longer law enforcement. This is bloodline type of organized intelligence. I'm taking you on by my family blood, but at the same time, I got my friends participating, their friends, and whoever else wants to join. It's systematically correct. We're going to tell you that it is, enforce it, and show you everything that we're going to do, what you're going to do about it. Law enforcement, corrupted even from Colorado Springs, trying to help out the situation. Them getting busted. When they get busted, they blame me. Oh, you ratted us out. I didn't do jack shit. You showed your fucking ass. You got screwed up. But this gentleman took his family's values, his life, and told the other motherfucker to go ahead and get his family the fuck lost. You showed up when he showed up. You're playing a community situation like you have some type of grounds, some type of value. Well, then if that's the case, I'm throwing my family value of a lifetime of being here. And you people go ahead and get the fuck away from him. Point blank. If you don't believe me, I'll call the fucking cops back up here. We talked about it. Me back up there, call the fucking cops back up there, and take care of the situation. Without them trying to ridicule fucking rat, snitch, cop caller, and all the rest. And how the fuck are you gonna, a cop calling someone else a fucking cop caller? Or somebody's family line. It's all mixed up, but organizedly, intelligent, organized. Much less organized crime, but even if you drop it, oh, we ain't mafia, we're just organized. While we are taking a little bit of characteristics of mob-styled shit. Or organized crime. Let's go with OC, organized intelligence. Check that shit out. Legal terms on organized intelligence, but no matter what, the ideal behind it. It means somebody is sabotaged and it's already understood. And there's more than just taking public abuse and public relationship. They have physically done shit that I've been implanted. You're under arrest, you're under restraint. There's no fucking paperwork in the goddamn system that says anything. If I was, and it would be legal for them to enforce something against me, the corruption would have overturned that. I don't know my shit, I don't know this. On top of that, trying to create such harm, which they already kind of basically did, not only just by the social works, but by the shit that they're trying to enforce, like we're giving you a fucking lobotomy, and believably trying to do so, and create the characteristics and traits of a lobotomy. While they're out there, we don't give a fuck. But anyways, the legalities of that, all of it would be corrupt. The paperwork, the implant itself, everything would be wrong. It'd be illegal. Now you're looking into criminal implanting like forced electroshock therapy. There's no paperwork. I don't have the paperwork. The mental health system doesn't have the paperwork. The police don't have the paperwork. This has to be 100% known by everyone. That way the situation, if I got into a situation, would be understood. Not publicly, not the community, But law enforcement, government, people who have a right to utilize strength, but they need to watch how they're utilizing that strength, because, hey, there is something else complicating maybe what you're trying to ridicule, because you don't understand it. Once you understand that, and they should, they're fucking legally trained, and I was told by a psychiatrist that works for the damn county. They're legally trained to understand this shit, and they have to handle the situation differently for you than anybody else. But it's also understood, while I'm explaining to the psychiatrist, they understood. They're marking you off different. What you gonna do, bitch? Step the fuck on up then. They're in here trying to utilize, hey, we got connections, we gonna gang bang, we gonna do the rest. I'll walk out in the community and have the gangsters beat your ass. Call you a fucking child molester and all the rest. It's a tactic of police force 1, 2. I'd do it personally anyways. I can't get in trouble for it. When the relations come back to these people, I will end up probably fucking killing them, which would be consistent with life-threatening harm that they're doing to me. I was explained this by a psychiatrist. I took it out, and I walked around New York talking to lawyers, doing this and that, and trying to situate without premeditatedly just saying, hey, I'll sabotage somebody and set them up, walk up and shoot them in a claim that they was bothering me. No, legit self-defense. You have a witness with his family name in a community saying the same damn thing. You have other witnesses, just people that you just understand that don't even fucking know me, so there is no favoritism. There's no reason for them to be standing up for me, lying or else, to help me out, but to witness what's going on. They can overhear me right now. All of my neighbors, you know who we are. Day after day after day, that's fucking brainwashing type of situation. When you get technically into what they're doing, much less them screaming they're causing a lobotomy. I was told a trach lobotomy. I've lost the ability to think, not only under the distress and strengths that they're utilizing while they're out there punking fucking taxpayers' dollars, utilizing you, and they get to feel and enjoy that they're utilizing tactics of organized crime as if they're trying to profile and undercoverly investigate organized crime with me being associated, but that was already taken care of in Colorado 15 years ago. I went under investigation. Absolutely no connections or even suspicion. Sabotagely trying to harm. They're also in personal, it's not even law enforcement, it's personal life. I travel, and I was told jurisdictional abuse, but I need to utilize other terms, but more or less cops, law enforcement, even FBI, unless it's a very harsh case, do not travel. They turn their work over to the next agency and those people further up. So what the fuck are these guys doing, stepping out and hoo-hoo, look, you see me here too. What you gonna do about it? You're not allowed, as far as I know, to be there. 1, 2. I don't give a fuck. You keep fucking around with your shit, I'm going to end up fucking self-defending myself. Shit. Hey, don't be playing around like Godfather. There's some dick-ass shit back fucking 20 years ago, and it's never stopped. And the FBI got involved with, as far as advising a little bit, and I'm going to say it straight ass out, it wasn't legal, complete 100% advice on the legal table. It was a notion of trying to get my head straight of the sabotage that they caused as a federal fucking offense, trying to play around with the Godfatherhood state, trying to utilize me basically as the paycheck for it, while they get the benefits from it. What kind of shit is that? I need to technically describe all of it the way law enforcement would and comprehensive of what the public would understand, but what would be social sabotage? Somebody's ability in creating such harm into somebody's social life that they don't have one. It complicates living physically, but mentally, socially. It doesn't have to be physical threat. It doesn't have to be a physical form of assault. And that's what they've done. And 10 billion times over. Situation where they messed around with the FBI and me being around in New York City, which also jeopardizes anybody else, peers, the whole FBI, the agency itself, the whole United States situation. They illegally did shit wrong. I have the rights to protect myself from them being pursuant, sticking their nose in my fucking business, because you've already been caught illegally fucking doing shit. You don't have the discretion to make your self-decision and make suspicion. You better have fucking concrete ass proof And even still then, you can operate, and they aren't allowed to operate in certain ways. I'll go get lawyers on this again. There's a situation where shitloads of lawyers walked out in New York. They caught on to what was happening while somebody's ill-advising and manipulating everybody else that know this is okay. And I didn't pay for shit. These guys walked out and outright stomped the fucking crap out of all of them as far as social working, intelligence like. Not just physically, but there are the few lawyers, and I won't even say just a few, they all agreed on that I'm going to need physical protection. They stepped up, chest bump. You want a chest bump, step the fuck up, bitch. What, because I'm a lawyer, you don't like you're gonna ridicule me for calling you a bitch after fucking name calling, slandering, and not discriminating him in public? A pussy, you keep calling he's a coward, calling me a coward, the child molester and all the rest. Where's your fucking coward ass doing now? Ran your people off, where's your cowards at? A bunch of homosexual organized crime shit. And that is my ultimate wording on that. Pitting it together and everybody else agreeing on it. A whole lot of things I pit at homosexual organized crime. Mass amount of connection to homosexuality and manipulation and the values of society, how things work, rights, privileges, and everything else, while they're trying to utilize me that I'm disrespecting them, so they're enacting out. First of all, once again, let's go back out of state. You had to have followed me, stalking illegally, to be trying to enforce your fucking shit. It's not me causing the problem, it's you. On top of your lies, sabotage, manipulation, basically blackmail, extortion. But hey, technically those are illegal terms. Blackmail deals with business works usually. A company, a business, utilizing the form of financial gains or controlment. But anyhow, there's a very slim line where it'd be blackmail that a person personally can be blackmailed without a company or business to a certain extent. Anyways, extortion, all this. Oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about, so you don't get to represent shit. Hey, lawyers stepped out and stomped the fuck out of you. Would you like it? I want you to, and they offered, hey, you want to make a fight? Step the fuck on out. You keep making physical battle, I'll beat your fucking ass into the ground, bitch. I don't care who you are. Your shit affected everyone. You're manipulating. You're taking away my family's time. You're taking away everybody's family's time. You're taking away and manipulating, and you're intentionally doing it. It's not just trying to make discovery. You organizedly, intelligently, intentionally did it. They organizedly, I'm talking to, and as if I'm talking to the individuals doing it, which is half-ass probably will be and am, but at the same time, boom. Law enforcement, you better get a lawyer. The lawyer stepped out there. What happened to your law enforcement? You thought you was going to hide behind a blue gang bitch badge and gangbang with it and play your playing technique so it's legal, and there's no fucking legal right for you to do it. While that you're also helping someone else out, feeling encouraged, powerful behind your authorization of being manipulated, and you empowering them, making them feel that they got the right to do it. Is the way that needs to be understood, or they have. Talking again towards the people who are doing the situation and making an understanding and trying to make the comprehensible of how and my thought process is going on. Day after day, electronic jamming besides the implants inside my freaking body. Controlment, force you're a schizophrenic for taking community rights. Illy utilizing, manipulating, and falsely utilizing authoritative actions. Completely. While they're doing that, sabotaging. No matter what. Implanting evidence, but it ain't just evidence. Throw a crack pipe up on a property, steal something, and just throw it out the door. Hey, it's on his property. That's your fucking fault type of situation. Haha, we'll sabotage it. Could you imagine that? I steal a CD player. I throw it onto your front porch or pit it, no matter. You just place it on the property because it's your property. You got to take care of it. Call the police. Tell them that I know the CD player is there. And because you're the property owner, it's in your possession. You get charged with reception of stolen property. It's a bad example, but it does work. Sabotage. You had nothing to do with it. You didn't even touch it. Didn't even know it was there. You could explain yourself blue in the face and be connived off of, yeah, right, you're lying. Doesn't matter. It's your property. You should be taking care of it. Type of situation. You can't talk yourself out of it, especially if you got corrupt cops standing there telling you, I don't have to accept that. Shit. Your story, it's a story. You don't have proof behind your shit either. Unless you really did, but a lot of people per se in the instance wouldn't. They don't have cameras. They didn't record the action. They couldn't tell how the CD player got there. But at the same time, it's there. With that being done, hey little buddy, hey dude, we all know what's up. Really, you know what's up so fucking hard. Psychiatrists, legal ones that weren't so corrupt or at all corrupted, which I think a lot of system is or can be persuaded, and any mishap is corruption. But already came out and analyzed they are utilizing professional, psychological, trained shit socially against me. And even more than just social, but systematical social. And it was caught illegal. You're not employed, you didn't have a right to, and just like the people standing out in New York City, we didn't agree to it publicly. Now you're trying to enforce we have to. At first you persuaded and manipulated with would you participate. Now you're enforcing it have to. Why wouldn't you just take in the first step in the first place? Because you're in the wrong. Not only in the wrong, they're attacking, assaulting, systematical, socially assaulting. What you gonna do about it? I've been poisoned. You're a weak motherfucker. We're weakening you. Law enforcement telling me we're weakening you because we feel that you committed a crime. You don't deserve the rights of health. We're interfering with you. That's a lot here in Columbus, Ohio. Everybody keeps pointing the finger back here at Columbus, Ohio. Like I was explaining to Columbus and the doctors, I'll leave. I left. I was followed. What the fuck kind of shit are you trying to put together on that? Well, I'll tell you what, buddy, you do like acting out like this. It sounds like you're just trying to get away from the situation, from putting it together for me to get representation and free myself from the havoc that's going on. At which point it seems like maybe you might also be utilizing personal discretion, much less on top corrupted acts or not fucking doing their job, which is still corruption. It's unlawful of their duty or whatever else. Not doing their shit. Well, we tell you what, we'll tell you this, because really we could lock you up. I talked to a psychiatrist that works with the county that is the receptor of them writing out their pink slips and all their threats of being locked up. And I was told to tell the police, which I've already been in an incident where I was being jumped, and told them, you'll go to jail if you continue with your shit. They get pissed off. We're law. You don't tell us shit like that. Hey, dude, you step way fucking across the line. You're in here belittling me just like everybody else, which is a misdemeanor. And mine, like they try to say, freedom of speech or just let it go. How many times, how long does that got to go on for? I let it go. If you go to a doctor right now here in Columbus, Ohio, and if the paperwork still exists, because the system doesn't save their shit all the time, because it's on top, been 7 years ago, look in that paperwork and say, hey, he reported this shit 7 years ago. It's not yesterday. It's not, well, okay, it's continued. Something needs to be done about it. It's been going on months. It's been going on years. As far as being reported, there may be other reports elsewhere. It's been going on decades. The same fucking people. What do you put together while you're trying to fucking snub-nose me about their organized intelligence, organized kind of fucking crime, criminal, or organized fucking bullshit that's going on? You can't give a straight answer, then you need to get the fuck lost too. Go find me somebody that knows how to do your job. Same thing with FBI. I'm going to take away from police. I don't want to stigmate police. We'll do law enforcement, period. Government or authority covers all range. Understanding you're not competent enough, you're not this, and it was already proven. Why not? Is somebody interfering with the situation while you're allowing it to be done, laughing, giggling, enjoying, or also am participating with understanding someone's being sabotaged to the point they're going to lose their life or the ability to think and understand or socially be able to interact? But you ain't put together that these people are assaulting and it causes that action. I was told by a psychiatrist, they are legally, and they have to, professionally trained with this shit. If she can hear it and understand it and make the remarks of how things work, these motherfuckers should have automatically picked up on it. Now, given leniency, okay, confusion, it's confusing. I'll give you time to work on it, but not no goddamn 7 fucking plus years. And that's only just a statement for the fact the agency here in Columbus, Ohio, that has that statement. It's even prior to that. You need to figure out what went wrong. Not only am I going to whine, cry, give me money, give me compensation for real, though. Even the psychiatrist said the same thing. They have affected social life so fucking hard. It's going to cause me to have some type of financial gain to stabilize myself to get back into the actions of society, and that's if I have the ability to do so. If I ain't already messed up to the point, which basically is already decided, to the point they've injured me to the point that it's never going to be fine, no matter where the fuck I'm at. Even without them being there, it's scarred into my system. So, they can overhear me. Oh, we're going to listen to that and challenge you to it. Reverse psychology, whatever they want to play. Challenge you. Everything you think of, you're not mentally capacitated or right to do, so I'm going to think it for you and enforce it. You want to throw it out there, I'll gangbang and fuck your ass in the ass with it. Little bitch, little pussy, what's up? You want to play Parkside Vadio? You want to play gang member? All the shit they're talking about was 20 fucking years ago. The police have already intervened. Well, we didn't intervene our way so that we're not going to account their shit. That's fucking community law enforcement. On top of, in Colorado Springs, it's not just myself. The city represented a handful of other people, and those handful of other people represented me. The cops knowingly how to do their fucking job, and you just passed him by and you didn't do shit. You have to. Don't give a fuck about your personal preference, what you like personally or not. You have an oath to your fucking job and duty. You're going to represent us. We know 10 billion times a factor. He's in a severe situation with 1 billion% matching identical case relation. I'll sit here with him is what one girl did, and sat there with me and made them represent the shit. I'm getting harsh tactics and personal feelings from law enforcement. Hey guy, what's up? Asinine tones of voice, ridiculement, and all the rest. What's up? Gang members in the community. Oh, we know better. He's incompetent. We got a right to do this. We're fully capacitated. He's not. By public law, because we're capacitated and he's not, we have the right to challenge him and all the rest. What happened, yo? All these people came out and sat with me, and all of a sudden your situation's turned upside down, and then you start threatening me? You start making out, well, hey, you know what's real and what's not. We're better than you. We have the money, financial gains. We have the abilities and everything else. Law enforcement arrested quite a few people, including other law enforcement. Gang members. They also arrested people who are participating without it being gang, but say gang grouping ideology, without having anything of identifiable identification towards a set, a clique, something they're naming themselves, and arrested those people. The gang members, and especially if they was already affiliated, they explained right in front of them and in front of me, it's 2.5 years automatic for you. You know that. You're on paper. Anybody else found out, we'll just keep carrying on, and hey, they can be put on paper and on top go to jail for it. That's what you get while they tried to cry, well, someone else put us up to it or made us believe that's okay. With leniency, it was put out with leniency. Don't do it for weeks. Weeks and weeks with intelligible understanding of why not to do it, and they continue to do it. The same shit they're doing fucking here. Sticking your nose, telling me not to stick my nose in their personal business, not to record, not to do this. Even the psychiatrist works for the county, huh, had that like what the fuck situation when they're sticking their nose in your business, and it's perfectly fine. No, there is no contact, there's no medium there, there's nothing there to talk to. They're doing nothing but abuseful, attackful, assaulting, and all the rest. But I'm overhearing something from across the street, and hey, what's up, Bubba? Low-tone voices the camera probably didn't pick up, but hey. Another pointer from New York City. Witnesses. Motherfucker a block over, hiding around a corner, doing shit. And when it's relative, your mother's name's Mary Hagan, whatever it be, and someone's around a corner saying Mary Hagan, it's going to draw your damn attention. But that's just an example. But, whoa. Huh. Sit back, go do your job, or keep your mouth shut. Sorry, I'm talking to somebody out behind a fence, ducked out, and all the rest. Hey, little bud, hey buddy. How do you fucking know me? You don't. Ha. Told you, from Colorado fucking 15 years ago, New York City and everything else. What you're doing is highly illegal. I've watched many people get arrested, go to prison 2.5 years for what? Whoa. Asinine slander, grouping, gang-banging fucking remarks. Organized crime intelligence attacking someone else in a group calls. Everybody, even if it is a ha, all fucking day long, it turns into gang-associated crime. I didn't say that. The fucking law did. You want to play with law? Let's go ahead. Like I said, don't forget I already mentioned law enforcement being arrested by law enforcement. Personally starting to associate themselves participating with community crime or community situations that they didn't belong participating with, utilizing their personal life while they're on duty to participate with. Now, getting back into a good community, hey, it would have all seemed fine. That's community. Everybody knows everybody. Things happen. Shit happens. This isn't that type of situation. Somebody's trying to utilize, well, that's the way it needs to be covered up. Why? There's nothing to cover up when it was full-blownly, explodedly fucking exposed. It was on TV, the news, all this shit 15 frickin' years ago. There's reports in the newspaper, redacted information now. Used to be almost either half-page, full-page report. It's one fucking paragraph now, but it has to do with all kinds of different things like internal affairs, corruption, city works, and all the rest. So, I'm done with the situation. Hey, you don't want to act right, we'll kill you. There's other people. My family's right. You're in here. I will pit this up. When my family moved away from Columbus, Ohio, as a child, my grandfather still was here, so that's family. And just like the psychiatrist said, there's a situation with that where they're utilizing dead people, but even if they wasn't dead, you're utilizing another individual to jump and sack his shit, to psychologically harm him, to systematically challenge him. Forcing him to live something that he's not, or even if he was, you're still pitting your hands on a situation that you're legally not allowed to. And then persuading everybody else. And on top, hey, nothing's wrong, but there's 10 times of all this power being utilized. And even the psychiatrist said it's understood somebody's in here and getting down in the system deep. It's not just like a regular complaint dislike. Somebody is technically, deeply trying to sabotage shit. It was already said my family was a part of that. But on the outside of that, either what they made connections of, or somebody joining in on the situation, whatever it be, them organizing the situation, that's how that is. So there's recruitment. It's not one person, it's not two. And then they're taking in community situation and throwing out a community situation. Get back to your fucking community. Don't come back to New York City. Don't come out running your mouth. Quit playing around with your shit, because there's explanations of how things fucking run, and you didn't want to run by it. Now, those who are welcomed to understand, to go ahead and help, or not even just help, understand what I'm enforcing and what I say so for my own life, cool. I mean, there's situations, smoking pot, drinking beer, getting a little bit drunk. There's people that, handle their shit professionally. They have a life, they have all this. I'm not saying that there's people that don't have a life, but they don't have nothing, a responsibility or an expectation to 100% stand up to. That's a little leisure, maybe, pleasure, luxury, but at the same time, they may not have a luxury life of a bunch of other luxury. But to get drunk while somebody else is ridiculing you is another thing. It was just crazy. Well, public humiliation, we all have to respect each other, huh? You just outright stepped over your own fucking shit. You're spitting shit. It's already understood. No, anything and everything is disrespect out of your mouth except for anything that would be helpful, compliant, and anything else that was already enforced and pursued. Well, he's not compliant. Well, you know why he may not be compliant? Why they ask, hey, I'm not compliant, so we're going to act just like him. We don't have to be compliant if he ain't. Well, there's called victimization. There's also other situations going on that his mind, he's trying to get the situation together the best he can, and now you're enforcing basically for him to be stuck in a state of life. He injured it too much, but now you're trying to challenge him to his rights to rebuild himself, that you got the right to do the same thing, but you're not a fucking victim. You're the pursuant. And even if you're just a normal community member having their own tough times, you don't have the same case he does. I'm being basically socially, valuably robbed. Even the psychiatrist said the same thing. There's technical terms to it, but putting it into maybe a more unintelligible or personal situation to people that don't know legal terms, being robbed of my own life, my own social values. That's what you get, bitch. That's what you get. Challenge it. If you make it out like this, we'll make it out to everybody else that you did this shit, you did that, you was gangbanging as a kid, you was doing this 20 fucking years ago. Doesn't matter, sticks. No, it doesn't. Just like in New York, law enforcement, even across the United States elsewhere, they do not have the right to stalk, follow, and everything else to act like they're enforcing something against you. You want to raise a fucking community? It ain't even go back home. You better stay fucking put where the fuck you are, because it's starting to become, and is, it ain't even started. At first it was started because nothing was understood, that it is harsh, but it ain't life-threatening. It's come to be understood as life-threatening situations. But anyways, sitting here, they overheard it. Hey, scuzz, we got a community humiliation right. Go get your fucking reasoning. Go prove to me you got a right to do it. And I'll go ahead and I'll go down to the police department. We'll have a talk about it without making it troublesome. We'll figure out how things fucking work. Because I've already talked to the police and I already know the answer on that. Slander, defamation, calling child molester, doing all kinds of schitsy, all the rest. Defamation, it's even worse than that, because some of it jumps out of the range, even like a psychiatrist says. It's went beyond just, verbal harassment, oops, don't like somebody called him a name even though it was in the wrong. No, this is intentionally assaultfully done. Targeted individual. That's just the bare minimum of explaining tonight. So, I just want to put that out there. What's on my mind. I haven't done this in a little bit, but I'm over here in a punk-ass attitude. Hey, buddy, what's up? I'm not your fucking buddy, pal. You want to play that dick-ass law enforcement? You know what's up. I done stepped out. I've had witnesses. You've had the people with their fucking family heirlooms out there stepping out, controlling a fucking community with the police standing right in front of them, asking what the fuck and which way things will work and what we can do. And I'm telling you straight ass out, you'll go to jail if you keep running your fucking mouth also. You wanted to sabotage, they keep playing around with, we know you're the Godfather, we set you up that way. It's set up. I don't have any value, I don't have an income, I don't have jack shit, while they run their fucking mouth, spend the money that they're getting through the organized crime, and let's go ahead and throw organized crime away. You kept yourself fucking straight, sane, empowering yourself that you have some type of ability yourself to control shit, like control another person, utilizing that to work a fucking job to make money while ridiculing me. What's up, buddy? What's up? Trying to play, hey, I'm your pal, you know I'm undercover FBI. That's okay. I want you to step up to the full-suited motherfuckers that was talked in front of me, and we'll go have a goddamn discussion again. Oh, well, we'll work. and sabotage that system. I'll go contact one of my people's superiors, and we'll go ahead and have all their shit thrown away. No, this is ours. This getting into tit for tat shit, but at the same time threatening that, nah, you ain't gonna be able to do shit to us. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. 10 years worth of supposedly investigations, 20 years worth of investigations, statute of limitations trying to play, hey, you want to play that? We can extend it, we can enforce it this way and that. Who extended it? Which way? And who's processing the intelligence behind that? I'm challenging your fucking system right now. That's also challenging that I'm going to make proof because you keep manipulating people. There's, just like a director told me, the FBI, every last state has a headquarters. I'm not Santa Claus type of situation, even though that's wrong. These assholes over listening, 1 minute, hey, you can't talk about we ain't FBI, we are, mixing everything else up. Oh, well, I'm going to control that too by saying, hey, I understand. Goddamn, just like a psychiatrist said, they understand more shit than normal people do. And that's where you get into an intelligent battle of assault, psychological injury. These people are intentionally doing it. But anyhow, I'm not fucking like Santa Claus without utilizing that term, and he wasn't putting it in an ill way, but that's the wrong way to put it, period. That's what they wanted me to say. But at the same time, I don't know 100% everybody that works in your city and state. I am their superior, but I don't personally know them. You could tell me about John, Jim, and Paul, and I would not know who the fuck you're talking about. You could tell me that they're FBI, I wouldn't know who you're talking about. So these guys manipulating with that type of manipulation. Reverse the situation. Let's go to Tom, Tim, and Paul there and see when they're intelligently, wrongfully, corruptly trying to manipulate their situation, keeping themselves out of trouble and participating, whatever is happening, wrongdoing, and put it in their boat, understanding that, no, that's how things work. That's the reason why it's working. That's the reason why we're not convicted and we get to fuck with you. Same thing that was busted in Colorado Springs, busted in Tucson, Arizona, and this is 15, 20 years ago. Want to talk about kidnapping? How the hell are you going to charge another police officer with kidnapping? Trying to put restraints on man in the back of his fucking car, even though the thing is, I cuss at it. He had a ticket for me. He had a warrant and all the, a wanting for it. Expired. A supervisor came out and was explaining to me one-on-one out in bumfucked Egypt that anybody else tries anything else and somebody's on the radio. There's a lot of weird shit going on right now. You can tell them flat ass out they'll be criminally charged with fucking kidnapping. Literally. Showed me on the computer. It isn't a joke. It ain't like, I'm giving you comfort and work it out later. That is the truth. They will be in their uniform arrested, put in the fucking cruiser, and taken away for kidnapping. There's also mental psychological kidnapping. Being held captive, but it doesn't have to be in restraints. It's called community captiveness. I started because it's such a severe situation and not usually supposedly happening that the psychiatrist for the county had to take a step back and hear my understandings of what's working, some of the information. It isn't me just also saying, no, that's a rock solid how it is. I need your help to understand what I'm trying to understand. It's a whole new range of system. I'm telling you, I am producing to protect myself. Not just here, let's get it out of the way, normality and working. No, there's a lot of abnormal shit. I want it worked on. And that's when the system understood. And there's things that happened, and I ended up going back a month and a half later, and they cut me out the door the same day that I got there for the fact what is called systematic assault. Somebody falsely, wrongfully, or intentionally trying to assault somebody else by calling law enforcement or utilizing the system and falsifying while they're hot, bitch, captive. You didn't have your rights, you don't have your freedom, all the rest. You suffered and all the rest of shit. So their intent is suffer. Go ahead and go fuck yourself. Go call out your lieutenants. Go call out your mafia. Act like you're big badasses. And I'll go ahead and step on out. And I am willing, more than willing, which without putting it in a stupid ass way, which I've already done, has talked or tried to get mob bosses involved and all the rest of the shit just as they did. We know this person, we're FBI. We got a profile on everybody. We know them. We can even make contact with them. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Let's see how operations work about you running your fucking mouth. Let's see what happens where you're running your mouth representing and then trying to wipe shit on me and trying to utilize mafia, fucking gangbanger, whatever kind of social and everything under the sun fucking law. Code of conduct. Playing undercover. You know how much more an undercover officer makes? Or an agent and people make compared to on duty, physical in the face? Whole shitload more. They also, besides it being financial gains, they get personal gains. Let's go talk to a psychiatrist that says their system trains police officers, law enforcement. They're all trained with a certain situation and the same situation and understanding what they're doing. Done with it. Our set, our shit. Like everybody and their mother and the witnesses that I talk about, yeah, he looks sad. He's homeless while you're sticking a fucking steak in your mouth and running your fat fucking dick ass fucking shit around him. You don't like it, then get the fuck away from him. He's suffering while you're sticking your fucking finger up your ass with fucking lube going, hey tranny, what's up? Oh, by the way, here I'm going to influence, since I got enough power, I'm going to tell you, you have to become fucking weirded out. Whatever I tell you to do, you better abide by. Fuck you. You better act gay or else I'm going to do something wrong to you. Sorry about that. I'm ending this video. It's not in respects to target of unlawfulacts.com, but that's what I'm spitting right now. It's not great. It's not professional. I won't say it, and I'm not going to accuse my own damn self of it not being respectful or responsible and all the other good stuff. But hey, this is how you got to do shit sometimes, and it does work. So, day after day, I got a library of videos for the last 7 years. I'm being ridiculed as psychologically unstable. You don't need them, delete them. Why you're trying to cause damage and harm. You go back and watch a video and fire shit up and manipulate other people with it. That situation's over with. It doesn't matter. It's my information. It's my property. It's the way I want to do things. And you're damn fucking straight. I want to go back 7 years and go ahead and apply the same shit that you're trying to apply to me. Because they keep throwing out shit that they 20 years ago, they have logs, papers, and all kinds. It's not even the wording of evidence. This is out of law enforcement. This is personal people profiling other people. Harassment, stalking, or just profiling somebody else. Keeping logs and records on them. If that was found out, it'd be stalking, more than likely. But anyways. What up? I can't do it, but you can? Well, you don't know how to handle that. Well, how the fuck did you learn how to handle it? And like a psychiatrist said, no, they're into the professional range. They're intentionally trying to learn how to handle it. So they are, that amidst their guilt of being associated or producing the situation that is going on. Not a normal person understands these things. The people that do understand this, either you're professionally trained, but we'll even get it down that you didn't go into profession, you didn't go to college, you personally trained yourself, or you got into the information yourself. That's above normal par of how much people in the community understand. Should not be enforced on top of trying to enforce it. Hey, I'm guilty of some of that myself. Everybody is. Thinking something's right and you got a right to it. And maybe you don't. Maybe you're in the wrong. Accept it. I've accepted myself that way a bunch of times. Even in New York City. Even though my situation, some of the explanation, ends up carrying out into another situation, like I'm accusing what they're trying to do, that is right. That is correct, or has value to it. Or meaning, has ground stance to it. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this video on that note, and gotta go up to the store and get my dog some food. Hopefully there's not, I can cancel the hope out there, can't I? We already know how many videos I've done at these stores and how much shit's still going on. It's no different than being stalked to another state, being stalked down the street, being stalked throughout the community. Hey, you don't do that shit to us, but we're gonna do it to you. Hey, by the way, hey, we influenced, if I did it, influencing, which I can't blame. That's like, hey, you're responsible for yourself, but you influenced him to do it. You made it out to being something, and then came back in and knew that you could crush him without the evidence and everything else behind it, what would look like him being a perpetrator of a certain amount of crime or participation, or his actions when intentionally with the actual information behind it, now it can be dealt with differently. Because you're in here now forcing him to do shit, or intentionally trying to set and sabotage, or influencing and doing all the other bullshit to him. Not just myself, people around in the community. Remember, there's at least a handful of other people, 10, not even a handful, at least 10 other people in Colorado Springs that was on TV that sued the city, sued the county type of situation, got representation, sat out right fucking next to me and forced the police and law enforcement to represent the shit. But at the same time, some of that force, it seemed that why wouldn't it just commonly be helpful? But there's other people, City Works, that stepped in. That way it didn't make, I'm not going to say it didn't make them look bad. Maybe they finally broke and was like, oh fuck, we need to take care of this. But now you have city corruption and misconduct and wrongful working. You didn't protect your citizen. Myself, I've been told in Washington, D.C. when I was out there multitudes of times, I'm a United States victim. It means the United States didn't protect me to the point that I could live quality, natural, normal, safe, enjoyable life. While I'm being blamed also, well, that's because you want to act like a gangbanger. You want to do this, you want to do that. My personal life, them trying to ostracize that shit. But either way, it was already proven, once again, to remind, in the beginning of this video, police came in and investigated me for exactly that stuff and found out with no suspicion, no connections, nothing, period. Mine was so severe, literally, they told me, we already know because I didn't contact nobody, nothing like that, 6-week investigations, there's not a spot of shit that we could even think of maybe trying to follow on. They showed me their files, they showed me their computers, and finally after 6 weeks also allowed me to know, you know what, somebody's sabotaging you. They're making false complaint, false charges. That's the reason why we was investigating in the first place, which is systematical assault. Now going from trying to put it together how harsh they're trying to do that, goes from misdemeanor harassment, felony harassment, to federal, basically, type of situation. It gets into too much shit. But, anyways, got a bug over here, big old bug, so I'm gonna be a coward and run inside and get out of here. Oh, look, I'm already slandering myself from what was already said less than a couple hours ago. Hey, coward, really? Step up. There is more than plenty of people in New York City in one whole day got fucking fed up with it, stepped up, and where did your people go? Oh, but them same peoples are exactly, literally, I could step out in my street and probably touch them. And I said probably, why won't I affirm that? Is it under fear, or just, hey, if you expose this, I'll harm you even more? Really? Let's get into it. You may not be able to hear it on microphone here, Cam, which was utilized in New York City. They had an investigator investigating somebody else, said you need this type of equipment. I'm doing the same exact investigation for somebody else. That's happening to you. Eavesdropping microphones, sonar dish, better quality stuff to be able to pick up the evidence. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Like I said, sorry, continue it when I said I was gonna end it, but that's that. Peace.